Find the centre and the radius of each of the following circles. X squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 8y minus 11 equals 0. X squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 1 equals 0. And 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 8x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. So find the centre and the radius of x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 8y minus 11 is equal to 0. So circle x squared plus y squared plus 2 times gx plus 2 times fy plus c is equal to 0 has a centre minus g, comma minus f, and a radius square root g squared plus f squared minus c. So this is given to us in the formula book. So all we have to do is decide what the g, the f, and the c values are, and then substitute them into these formulas. Okay, so if we compare with our circle that we're given, so the coefficient of x is minus 6. And in our formula, there's a 2g stuck on. And in our center point formula, we have minus g. So minus 6 is equal to 2g. So therefore g is going to be minus 6 divided by 2, which is minus 3. So if g is minus 3, then minus g is going to be plus g. So the x coordinate of the centre of our circle is 3. Okay, so now we want to compare the coefficient of y in our formula, which is 2f, and the coefficient of y in our actual circle equation, which is 8. So we're going to have 8 equal to 2f. So then f is going to be 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So if f is equal to 4, then minus f is going to be equal to minus 4. So the y coordinate of the centre of our circle is minus 4. So now we know the centre of our circle is 3 minus 4. Now we need to figure out the radius. So we're going to use this formula, the square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. So we know that g is minus 3, we know that f is 4, and in our formula we can see that the constant at the end is minus 11, so the c is minus 11. So we have square root, g squared is going to be minus 3 squared, plus f squared is going to be 4 squared, and then we have minus c, which is going to be minus 11, which is plus 11. So we end up getting the square root of 36, which is 6. So the radius of our circle is 6. So next we want to find the centre and the radius of the circle x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 1 is equal to 0. Again, we're going to use these formulas. So the missing y term means that the coefficient of y is going to be 0. This is very important. So again, we're going to compare our coefficient of x in our formula, which is 2g, and our coefficient of x in our circle, which is minus 8. So we're going to let 2g equal to minus 8. So g is going to be minus 8 divided by 2, which is minus 4. So our centre is going to be minus g minus f. So if g is equal to minus 4, then minus g is going to be minus minus 4, which is plus 4. So the x-coordinate of our centre is 4. Next, we're going to compare the coefficient of y in our formula, which is 2f. And we know that our coefficient of y is 0 because we don't have a y value. So we let 2f equal to 0. So f is going to be 0 divided by 2, which is 0. So f is equal to 0, and our centre point, our y value is minus f, and minus 0 is still just 0. So our centre point is of our y value of our centre point is 0. So our actual centre point is going to be 4, 0. So next we need to find the radius. So we need to use this formula, square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. So g is minus 4, f is 0. So you get the square root of 4 squared plus 0 squared, minus c, which is going to be minus minus 1, which is plus 1. And that gives us the square root of 17. So the radius is root 17. Part 3, we want to find the centre and the radius of the circle 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 8x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. We can only use our method if the equation starts with x squared plus y squared. So we have to start by dividing by 2. So again, we're going to use this formula. So our circle is 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 8x plus 2y minus 4 is equal to 0. Dividing across by 2, we get x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 1y minus 2 is equal to 0. Our coefficient of x is 4, so we're going to let 2g equal to 4. So then g is going to be 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So for a centre point, we have minus g for our x value. So if g is equal to 2, then minus g is going to be minus 2, so our x coordinate is minus 2. Then we let our coefficient of y in our formula, which is 2f, equal to our coefficient of y in our equation, which is 1. So we have 2f equals 1. So then 1 divided by 2 is going to be a half, so f is equal to a half. So if f is equal to a half, then our centre point, our y value, is going to be minus f, which is minus a half. So our centre point is minus 2, minus a half. Now to find the radius, we use our formula, the square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. So our c is going to be minus 2 in our equation. So it's going to be minus 2, which will be plus 2. So we end up with a square root of minus 2 squared plus minus a half squared plus 2. That gives us the square root of 4 plus a quarter plus 2, which is root 25 over 4, which is 5 over 2. So our radius is 5 over 2.